everyone, welcome to Rob's Rogues in the Batman universe. Today we're taking a look at the Play Arts Kai action figure, the Batman Arkham Origins Robin. Now, some people have been kind of confused about this Robin. They have played the video game and have said they weren't aware that Robin was in the video game, or they haven't maybe gotten up to that part yet in the video game. The Dick Grayson Robin character, which this is who this is not in the video game itself. The Robin character is actually in the multiplayer version of the game. So if you have the game and haven't played the multiplayer mode yet, this is where you will find this particular version of Robin, along with 4 or 5 other suits. The Arkham City Robin Tim Drake costume is in there. Then there's some other costumes. The Batman animated series Red Robin costume is in there, plus a Tim Drake, 2 Tim Drake comic book costumes, the red and green, and then the black and red costumes are in there as unlockable as you go through the multiplayer version of the game and earn points to unlock things. Or if you bought the season pass, like I did, and the Best Buy version of it, you got the Tim Drake Robin costume, comic costume for free. All that being said, the people at Warner Brothers Montreal that made Batman Arkham Origins decided to do a multiplayer part of the game that you could do also, and they decided, well, with having multiplayer, it would be kind of cool to have Batman and Robin work together. So out of the 8 players that you can play at a time in the multiplayer, it'll randomly select 2 heroes, and one being Batman, one being Robin, and then the others being the thugs of the Joker faction or the Bane faction. Then after you play, it randomly selects somebody else new to be the heroes of the game. So they decided to use Robin in there. And when they were designing the game, they thought, well, maybe we ought to do a design for the Robin character. Since this is Origins, we'll do a Dick Grayson version of the Arkham series, and this is the look of the Dick Grayson character for the video game. Now, I picked up the collector's edition of the video game, and it came with an art book, and I'll bring that up in a little bit and read the description from that. I'll be kind of curious if the description in here is the same as the art book, but they went ahead and gave a description of Dick Grayson Robin and kind of gave their thoughts and reasons how and why they created this. And like I said, it was basically generated that the multiplayer was going to be a add-on into the game, that if you wanted to have a little more experience with the characters, they decided, well, we needed to add Robin. So, there we go. This is a late birthday gift from my wife, or a belated birthday gift, as it were. My, depending on when you're watching this, my birthday was February the 10th, so this is now February the 13th, so not that many days have gone by since this has come out. My wife ordered this just shortly before my birthday, and it arrived Friday the 13th. Ooh, so hopefully no bad luck here is going to befall this Robin. This was a figure I've been looking at getting for quite a while, but the last Play Arts Kai Robin figure that I bought, the Arkham City figure, which I'll do a comparison in a little bit, he was about $50 to $60. This guy runs anywhere from $89 to $99. So I know he comes with a few more accessories than the previous Robin did from Play Arts Kai, and he comes with a display stand, but I was really curious why the price jump was almost double, not quite double. Actually, it's actually a little more than double the price. I was able to get this, my wife was able to get this rather a little bit cheaper than that. She got it for around $84, which is still a little on the expensive side, but I'm very happy to get it, and was blown away that she ended up picking this up for me. And has been something that's been on my radar for a while, but due to the price point, it was something that I was kind of weighing being able to kind of get and save up for. So thank you very much, honey. We'll take a look at the box, and I'm having to back up quite a ways away from the camera to get all of this into frame, so hopefully I don't get an arm somewhere in front of the camera, or my voice doesn't sound weird because I'm having to lean around the camera. But this is a still, the still images in the back of the snow and everything from the Arkham game, but this is an actual picture of what the figure looks like from Play Arts Kai, and they always do an amazing job, and the articulation is always really crazy on these guys. This is figure number 3, as it says down here in the bottom, and a lot of the writing and description on the back of the package is all in Japanese, so, or Chinese or Japanese, I never quite remember, Chinese rather. So some of the stuff I'm not going to be able to read on the back of the package because I can't speak that language. You see the Batman 75th logo down here of DC Comics, and then the Batman logo at the bottom. Play Arts Kai logo up here. I believe that's what that is. Let's get a closer look at that. Get him a light here. So there's that logo. And we have a warning logo here, warning, choking hazards, small parts not for children under 3. For ages 13 and up is what the top of the box says. And there's some of the other information here at the bottom. We have a side panel art from Arkham Origins that is very familiar, playing in the video game, in the Play Arts Kai logo. And we have the back of the box. Let me get this pushed back here a little bit. I apologize about this having to be so far away from the review table. We can see Robin here, Robin written in Chinese, and we can see some of the images of the actual figure itself. And figure 4 in the series is the Joker. And like I said, you can see all of the other writing that's in here that I won't be able to read to you because it is in fact in Chinese. But one thing is the same for all languages: no onion babies. So there we go. The inside of the box is also very, very cool. A lot of the lights playing some tricks here. The cool thing is with the clear window, you can clearly see the figure in there. You have this frosted snow look, as Arkham Origins takes place right around Christmas time, so there's a Christmas winter scene that is going out through the video game, and they recreate it here in the clear part of the packaging. You can see the part of the Bat logo that's right here where Robin is visible through. And we have a write up here off the side of the package. So get another look at the figure itself and the write up.
Batman: Arkham Origins is the story of the Dark Knight before he became the hero we now call Batman. Evil swarms in Gotham City. Among the various villains that roam the streets, one young man stands against the wicked all by himself. None other than Bruce Wayne. He is clad in all-black costume and confronts evil, albeit inelegantly. Instead of his typical gallant and controlled demeanor, this Batman is a touch unrefined. However, as he gradually matures, he gets closer to the image of the Batman that we now all know and love. With keen intellect and stout heart, Robin supports Batman as his sidekick. Robin is a dynamic crime fighter, not only well-versed in handling any and all types of weaponry with exceptional shooting and martial arts skills, but also demonstrating a sharp detective mind and is an expert in criminology. Because of his exceptional talents, Batman has placed the utmost trust in him. Batman and Robin will fiercely face off against the criminals that plot to create a city of fear, destroying Gotham City as they know it.
Here's a closer shot of Robin inside the package here with all the extra hands, his bow staff, which was, they used the mechanics of the Robin from Arkham City as their framework, so all of Robin's moves in the multiplayer version of Arkham Origins uses all of the Arkham City mechanics. It's just a different reskin. So Tim Drake's bullet shield is used by this Dick Grayson Robin, so I'm really cool with that. I could easily give this to the other Play Arts Kai Tim Drake Arkham City Robin figure, but this guy will look great with it. So what we're going to do, we will get this guy out of package. I am so happy to have this in my collection, and we will get a better looks at Batman Arkham Origins Play Arts Kai action figure number 3. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, here's the Robin Arkham Origins Play Arts Kai figure out of package. This is figure number 3 in the set. This is only the second Play Arts Kai figure that I have. I really like it. There are a few things that I've watched a couple other reviews, so I kind of know some of the issues, so to speak, with this particular figure. The flight stand is a whole different other beast, and I'll get into that in just a moment. Just basically overall, I do really like the figure. Anything that comes out that has anything to do with Robin, you know I'm going to be a sucker for right away. I think the figure looks good. It's a really good representation of how he looks in the video game. But as I've said, for some people that may be saying, well, I've played all the way through Arkham Origins and I haven't seen Robin anywhere. Robin is only available in the challenge, or excuse me, not the challenge mode, the multiplayer version of the game. So you have to go online, and then you can team up with somebody and be Batman and Robin and then take down a group of thugs. So I won't get into all of that. You can just go on to YouTube if you like, and you can look up Robin Arkham Origins multiplayer, and you can see Robin in action. But that's not where we're here. We're here to look at the actual figure. Now, because he is so big, this is one of the larger figures that I reviewed. I've got to be farther back from the camera, so I may do a few more cuts here and there so you can see the figure a little bit more clear. But let's get a closer look at Robin's face. They got the face of Robin pretty well. I know some of the Play Arts Kai figures, they take a little bit of a liberty in with some of the figures, the way they're designed. They may look a little anime-ish a little bit, but for the most part, they got the likeness of Dick Grayson Robin from Arkham Origins done rather well. And you can see how the mask is fastened there. It's like a little sliding piece that makes it taut. So it's just a little extra detail that the developers of Arkham Origins decided to do for making the costume of the Dick Grayson Robin in this Arkham universe. But overall, I think they got everything really good. The yellow R is not really yellow. It's more of, if you can see in the frame here, it's more of a very muted yellow or a very dull silver. I will put up pictures here in just a little bit. There is an alternate version of this costume that they were kind of creating where the belt is yellow here. The R is a brighter yellow, and all these spots here of the extra strappings holding on the armored part of the costume, those would all be yellow here. Let's see, where there also would be yellow in here for the gauntlets. So just a couple extra things. I'll put up a picture here in just a second.
All right, here's the alternate color part of the costume. It's just the yellow is more pronounced. You can see it in the belt. And this is from the inside of the collector's edition art book, the design of Robin. And here's a close-up of the description of why they decided to create Robin for the multiplayer version of the game.
So there was a look at the Arkham Origins 2 costume. But this would be the primary one in the video game. Let's back up just a little bit here. But you could see the detailing in the costume of kind of the mesh in the turquoise, greenish, bluish color here. That they took, some liberties in creating Batman and Robin in the Arkham universe, as they've done with all of the Arkham video games. So it's more of their take on the traditional costumes. Something I'm still kind of torn about. I'm not sure if I like the red gauntlets on the arms and then the red boots. I think these would better have been probably green. I think they would have worked a little bit, but there is some green shading here in the back as well. The cape is a muted yellow on the inside, very much like Tim Drake's cape would be, where it's black on the back. Again, the alternate costume, just a little bit of a tweak. The spots that are yellow are much brighter in yellow. But a couple other spots that they put in the yellow that you saw there is off just a little bit. But as far as the overall design of the figure, I think it works very well in the Arkham universe. So just the detail that they put into the shading, you can see where we have the red in here, and then it goes down into a very deep burgundy red, almost into a black, to kind of show some weathering. I do like the two spikes here on Robin's costume, as Batman would have 3 And it almost looks like there is a spot for one here, kind of like, hey, as you graduate and become a better crime fighter, you get more spikes on your gauntlets. But it's done very, very well. I took the batarang out, or the wingding, as it's denoted for Robin and eventually Nightwing. So the same Nightwing batarang, or the wingding that the Arkham City Nightwing uses in the video game, and along with Tim Drake Robin as well. But I thought that was pretty cool. So let's get on to the articulation. Now with the Play Arts Kai figures, there are a lot of articulation points in here, and this is a part that sometimes, sadly, I'm kind of inexperienced with having Play Arts Kai figures, so I will go over them to the best of my ability. Robin's head is on a very good ball joint, can look in a plethora of directions. He can look down really well, up very well, can tilt left to right, tilt back and forth, rotates very good. Also appears to have some neck articulation there as well. So you can get the neck to tilt back and the head back. So you can get quite a dynamic pose, and then also with the abdomen being able to tilt back also is pretty good. And then the same can be said for being able to look down. The arms will go up just about a full 90 degrees. There's a little extra hinge here in this particular series that allows the arms to go up a little bit farther, where other Play Arts Kai figures do not. There is a rotation in the ball joint, or excuse me, in the shoulder part of the joint, that it does allow the arm to rotate forward and back a little bit. Although it looks like, at least on mine, part of the, if you can look here, the buckle that we have here is kind of tucked on the inside. And I had to do this the other day, right, to kind of rotate the arm out of the way. There, you can kind of see it there. So I have to kind of mess with that a little bit. It kind of gets hidden in the back, but doesn't hurt anything or hinder anything at all in the figure. He does have a bend at the elbow and a nice ratchet, so you can get it in some pretty good poses. There is a swivel right above the elbow and a little bit of a rotation in at the gauntlet itself. The hand can rotate and can pivot. There's the pivot. Yeah, there's the pivot. Can pivot almost like he's broken it. The cool thing too, the bottom part of the gauntlet also rotates for you to be able to get the hand to move in different positions if you need it to as well. Does have an upper chest articulation in the diaphragm area that kind of is a rocking type of emotion here. He can arch his back backwards. He can bend forwards about that far, and can go side to side. His cape does make him a little back heavy, so he does kind of want to fall back just a little bit. It's not horrible, but it is something to denote if you're thinking about getting this guy. He does turn at the waist here slightly. I don't know if it is necessarily a waist turn. It kind of feels like I can move him a little bit, but it's not overly pronounced. His legs can go ratchet out about that far into a split, and they come up that far. I've had a problem with this leg popping off and on. It does do a slight rotation out here and rotates back in, so you can kind of get some thigh movement. This one seems to work a little bit better than the left one does. Has a double hinged knee, which is also very cool. No swivel here at the boot, but does have the articulated foot hinge that goes forward and back, and then has a toe hinge as well to be able to give you some extra stability. Now let's turn the figure around and we'll look at the cape, and the cape does have some articulation too, that you can fan the cape out. This is the part of the articulation on the cape that after you move it too far, it starts to create a V in the back of the cape. So I like that you can get it to flare out a little bit, and you don't notice it too much from the back part of the figure, but too much will cause it to bend out, and you get this weird V in the back. And the cape does come off, and the cape is articulated too, so you can get the cape to kind of lift off from the back as well. There's kind of a pins back here. You can kind of hear it. So you can kind of get a wind-blown look with the direction that the cape would move. So I am very, very pleased, and I'm sure I missed some part of the articulation. There are many points of articulation on this guy. It's a very cool piece. I want to take a look at the accessories that come with this guy. All right, here are the accessories that the Arkham Origins Robin comes with. Now, some people may be asking, like, well, these look like they're the Arkham City as far as the bow staff, and the bow staff with the shield activated on it looks like it's the Arkham City Robin. Basically, when Warner Brothers Montreal got the Arkham Origins game while Rocksteady was doing Arkham Knight, they basically gave the engine and all of the graphics to Warner Brothers Montreal and said, you know, here you go, here are the skins and everything like that, and they were able to make the game that they were wanting to. When they decided to put Robin in there, they basically just reused the armature of the Tim Drake Robin Arkham City to make their Dick Grayson Robin, which when you start playing the game, when you activate Robin's staff, he already had the staff and the bullet shield, so those were kind of there. I think if they were going to actually do the game probably properly, that's a funny sentence, properly, they may have gone away with the bow staff and the shield, but in the environment of the multiplayer, the staff and the shield work out very well. So if you have the PlayArts Kai Arkham City Robin, you could in fact give these accessories to him if you chose to do so. So here is the bow staff with the shield activated on it. You can see the R there. So you can kind of see through it, which kind of would you allow Robin to kind of peer through the bow staff, and you can see the buttons here that they're supposed to be. If we can zoom in maybe. Which this was a nice little detail that you push a series of buttons and then the bow staff would generate the shield part out of the bow staff. So cool accessory if you chose to set up the Arkham Origins Robin or the Arkham City Robin if you have it with this. It does come with a standard bow staff. You can see the R there. And then the bow staff collapses in the video game that it only goes to about half the size here. So it does jet out, and then out of the center part of here, all this gold that you see would actually generate the shield. Something that I think is funny is that the bow staff is longer than the bow staff attached to the shield, which I thought that was a little odd. You can see it's off just by a little bit. I've got these two ends fairly straight, so not horrible. You're not going to really notice it, but it is what it is. He does come with a batarang, or in this case, a wingding, as the video game calls it. And you can kind of tell it's already in the bird motif that Robin and Nightwing both use. And then he comes with 3 hands. Now, I have one of the other hands on already. Here's the closed fist that I took off. So you have 2 open hands. You have 2... let's get him closer into the frame here, Rob. You have 2 open hands, so you could hold on to probably the bow staff a little bit more, or just to have an open hand type of a look. You have a closed type of a hand that would hold the bow staff that is not open into the shield form, and then probably a batarang. So I probably got the hands a little mixed up here. These are more of the batarang hands, and then this is the closed bow staff, and then the open bow staff. So it's nice to be able to interchange things in and out. What I'll do at the moment, I will put the different hands on and we'll see how he holds the accessories. There is the smaller open hand here, being able to hold on to the batarang, the wingding, as it were. So we can hold on to that really good, and it doesn't want to pop out. You just kind of have to push it in there just a little bit, and it'll stay pretty good. So you can kind of get him in some poses where he's going to throw this, and it works pretty good. And there is the peg I've removed the hand so you can kind of see one hand put on as I do this one-handed. He doesn't want to stand on this table very well, and it just pushes right into place. If I can do this. Maybe. So there we go. That hand's in place. This is the hand that's for the bow staff for him to be able to hold. It's got his hand on the Robin R button, ready to activate the bow staff. So I like the way that it's gripped. You can tell that he's holding on to the bow staff pretty much normally as somebody would. So I like that they take the detail into how the human hand actually works. Even has the finger up a little bit as if he's ready to push the button here to activate the bow staff. Now I will try and get both hands in here to see how he holds the bow staff with the shield. Okay, we're back here looking at the hands again, and while I was getting the hands ready for the part of the bow staff, I started realizing that I have a lot of right hands. Here's a left hand, right hand match, left hand, right hand match. We have a full open right and left. We have, here, I'll show you here real quick. Make sure I'm not looking at this wrong. There's full open right and left. There are full closed right and left. And then the rest of these are all in various stage of closed right hands. There's two there, and there's two there. So this is something I need to look at the box to make sure it doesn't say we have multiple right hands. So if that's supposed to be the dominant hand that he is holding onto his gadgets with, and the others are just there to kind of be there. So I just wanted to point that out, and I'm going to go check some other reviewers here and check around to see if maybe I'm the only one that was I should have equal left and rights. You would think I would, but maybe I'm mistaken. So I'll try and get the bullet shield in his hand right now. And there is Robin holding on to the bullet shield. As you can see, I have one of the hands that's designed to hold on to. The right hand can hold on to all of his accessories rather tight, but the left hand for an open hand is basically just kind of resting in here. So I think that's an odd choice. I kind of hope I'm wrong, that maybe I just got shortchanged some left hands here, but I have more right hands than I do left hands, as it were. So interesting. But I mean, he can hold it, and from the front you're not going to notice at all as he's coming right for you. And here he is holding on to the bow staff itself. As you could tell, it's just kind of resting in this hand here. Would have been cool to be able to have him have a tight, firm grip on it like this hand is here, but again, it is what it is. I hope it's just a mistake in their part, that they through the manufacturing process just whoops put the wrong amount of left hands in the box, but it does work. The flight stand, the leaping stand, whatever you want to call this, this is cheaply made. I appreciate that they wanted to give us a type of a stand to be able to pose our figures with, but it's poorly constructed and cheaply constructed. It's not really durable, and the figures want to, at least for mine, want to go this direction. There's really no set positions it can be in. It kind of floats in here. And these screws and everything, I had an extra nut here. And there's another armature here that you can put and take off. But there's nothing that sets or locks these in. These are all pieces that had to be connected and built together. So it really doesn't do a good job of holding your figure up, and you can kind of see the arms here are very, very loose. So I constantly have to get out their little tool that they gave you to tighten this thing up, and it's a real pain in the butt. I would like to have a stand that can hold Robin really well, so I can get him in some type of a pose, but now I'm kind of thinking I might get like a doll stand or something like that. Yeah, it's constructed bad. That's the only thing I can say. If you were looking for a good flight stand, maybe for a figure that isn't so heavy, I mean, he can kind of be held on it, decent enough, but I don't know if you can see in here. Get the camera up just a little bit. This is just by me moving this arm. There is nothing really holding him. So if he decides to take a little bit of a roll off of the table, he's going to. So if you do use the stand, just be very careful where you have him placed. He's basically going to be leaning against the stand, but trying to get him up in the air. I'll do this just for the sake of the review. This may be a process that somebody's like, oh, it's a pain in the butt. We've already seen it. But if you haven't, I'll show you. And this part just moves here. If you want it in a different position, you just move it to a different point. So I won't take him all the way to the top. But you'll see here rather quick. And see, all these pieces just keep falling off. Ah, pain in the butt. So this is the only downside I have for this review here is this stand. But I will show you what it does here. So this is me trying to get him in a position for you to see just him, and he can't really be held by it either. See, he's just going to topple. Luckily I'm on this table, so we'll see if he holds. 2, 3, and there he goes. And here's a size comparison from one video game to the next video game. They jumped the size quite a bit. In the more 10-inch size that's probably here, we jumped Robin up to probably almost a 12-inch size here. So this, I was really hoping these two Robins were going to be close in size, and now I can see the difference in the price of the two, that we have a lot more in articulation and just plastic here than we did in the Arkham City version of the PlayArts Kai Robin. So the bow staffs, I thought, oh, I could give you know, the bullet shield, but this bullet shield is rather large in comparison. I think it would still work if I wanted it to. I thought, oh, maybe I could switch hands in and out. No, the hands are going to be way too big. This hand is going to be almost as big as his face. So I wanted to be able to show the two side by side. Final thoughts here on the PlayArts Kai Batman Arkham Origins Robin figure. I really like it. I'm not too concerned about the scale and the size of the figure, as I'm only going to be picking up the Robins from this line, if there are any more. I think he's a beautiful sculpted figure. A few little issues here as far as articulation, and the PlayArts Kai figures are not really known for being able to stand perfectly 100% by themselves, which is why I'm holding on to him here out of frame, but once I can get him on a more hard surface rather than my review table here, even if he has to kind of lean up against the wall, or if I have to use the display stand to just basically kind of balance him, I think he'll be good. And I am absolutely happy to add another Robin to my collection. He's going to look really good, and when I do live reviews, he will be in plain sight. So today, let's try this again. Today we've been taking a look at the PlayArts Kai Batman Arkham Origins Robin figure. This is figure number 3. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues and the Batman universe signing off, saying we will see you guys next time. I can't let go because I'm holding on to him.